So Mark Taylor, who's got 35, will take the strike. It will be Walsh who will bowl. Malcolm Marshall is the one who appears to be off the field, being replaced by Lara. For the first time this morning, it's good morning to Ian Chappell.
Good morning, Tony, and hello and welcome to our viewers. It's nice to see the sunshine out here. The only thing that worries me, Tony, I hope those Australians who are out there by the scoreboard, I hope they don't know too much about the local weather, because I think they feel we're in for a short day here. I noticed they only had 3 cartons of carob with them. They must be expecting rain a bit, well, just a bit after lunch, I think, if they've only got 3 cartons.
Here's the first ball of the third day's play. Walsh, the bowler. We just had 31 overs on the first 2 days. Just under 2.5 hours cricket possible. There's hardly a soul in the ground. It's really taken everyone here in Trinidad and Tobago by surprise. The decision by the West Indies board, certainly a very wise one as it's turned out, to shift the rest day to today from yesterday.
Yes, it will be interesting to see the Australian approach. They're the team that's 1 down in the series. Once this test match is over, only the game in Barbados and 1 in Antigua to go. The Australians are going to have to win the series to claim the Frank Worrell Trophy that is presently held by the West Indies. So the Australians are going to have to win the series to win that trophy. So the decision is there for Border to make. He's going to have to attack at some stage or other today.
So a maiden over to start off with from Walsh. It's 1 for 75.
Malcolm Marshall is back on the field now for the West Indies. So just an over delay for Malcolm. Must have been a little behind schedule this morning. Perhaps the umpires caught him out when they decided to start on time. Brian Lara has now gone back to the pavilion. You heard Greg Chappell say in his pitch report that he thought that the little bit of moisture that is in the pitch, perhaps mainly from sweating under the covers, might just slow the pitch down a little bit. And judging by David Boone's reaction there, I reckon about 3 shots went through his mind. First of all, he was going to let it go. Then he started to think about hooking it. And then he had time to change his mind, which suggests it is a bit slow.
That's the first run of the day. In fact, that's the first run in 2 days, as it's gone through Haynes at cover. So Boone moves on. He's 19 and Australia now 76 for 1. So it's been a very slow start by the Australians. They obviously just want to get accustomed to the conditions once more. They've just added the 1 run.
I think that's what they've got to look to do. Start pushing the ball into the gaps and looking for singles, 2s. And keep the scoreboard ticking over.
In fact, there was quite a perceptible change in the Australian approach on the second day, on Saturday morning, in the little play we had to what it had been on the previous day. They certainly were looking for the singles more and more.
Mark Taylor had a terrific series against England in '89. The Englishman then came up with a couple of plans against Mark Taylor in the series in 91 in Australia. They slowed him down a lot. The main part of that plan was for Devon Malcolm to come around the wicket and basically cramp Mark Taylor for room, not give him too much room for those offside shots.
Just away from the field, he got his left hand to it. Richie Richardson at third slip just got the left hand to it, but could only deflect it down to the boundary.
In fact, it was a very good effort by Richie Richardson, because I think once he saw David Boone going for the cut, he started to move to his right to anticipate the shot, and then found that it was a top edge and it was going the other way. And a very acrobatic leap saw him get a hand to it, but I'm sure you'll find that he was heading to his right. That was his first instinct, trying to anticipate the shot that Boone would play.
Courtney Walsh will be taking up the bowling from the northern end. He's bowled fairly well this morning. Good line, good length, seems to have very good rhythm. Be the best he's looked throughout this series.
Yes, this is a ball that just cuts back in here to David Boone. Courtney Walsh is bowling very well from this end, and normally he does. Over the last couple of years, he has got quite a few wickets from this end, and I just wondered why they took so long to change him around. But he's bowling a very good spell here, surprising the batsman ever so often.
One, again, getting some movement off the wicket, this time away from David Boone, but again, because of the slowness of the pitch, he had time to adjust and got a lot of bat on that ball, found the gap, and that's a boundary which takes David Boone along to 27, the score 1 for 87. That's another pretty good over from Courtney Walsh. Australia 1 for 87.